Hi, I'm John Chattman. I'm here with Benjamin Walker.
Hi.
Walker? Yeah,
Walker,
it is Walker.
yeah, Walker.
I had to look at the playbill for that.
Walker, Texas.
And I know your
Ranger.
name.
Yeah.
So we're in the inner layer of, I don't really need to read this, it's kind of a prop, but the Bernard Jacobs Theater in Manhattan. Welcome to an appropriate fireside chat, since you're starring Bloody Bloody Andrew Jackson, if I could bury the lead. So what's the experience been like? I mean, you've been part of this show since the inception, and it's totally not the kind of show that you would expect to see on Broadway, right? I mean,
I guess not.
I'm thinking, I don't know. Narrator
No,
stabbed in the neck.
Shot in the neck.
Shot in the
Shoot her
neck?
Oh, yeah.
Was she stabbed too?
We kick her, we shoot her, we run her over. I mean, she gets a thorough beating,
Okay.
as history does.
Yes.
But how's it been? It's been great. I have to say, it's been fantastic in terms of getting to work with this group of people, this group of creators and this group of actors is one of those jobs that comes along once in a lifetime, that you get to enjoy people that inspire you and you learn from and that you have an amazing time with every night. So it's great. I mean, if we weren't here, we'd still be doing the show somewhere.
Right,
so
right.
It's great to be here. We're lucky we've been welcomed by the Broadway community.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? I mean, I went to the show with my dad, and my dad didn't get it. My dad's, not of the younger generation.
Yeah.
But I'm just curious, do you find, at least from what you're told, when you're signing these things, or something, do you have a divide? Or is it pretty much across the board, everyone loves it? How's that for a run-on sentence?
Yeah, I'll take it. I feel like sometimes the humor can be distancing, but I think there's something for everybody in it.
Right.
In terms of, I'll say this. The other night, a woman came up to me and she said, I didn't care for it, but I'm certainly going to go home and Google Andrew Jackson.
Nice.
And I thought, well, that's the highest compliment you could pay.
Right.
If it excites you as an American, as a theater goer, as a citizen, then we've accomplished something.
And you do learn something about Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, there's a lot of history in there.
Yeah. I mean, did you have to do a lot of? I mean, it's a different thing. It's not like you're starring in a bio, paper
right.
or
It's
something.
not a documentary.
Yeah.
But we did do a lot of research. I read a couple of books. I read John Meacham's book, American Lion. Go to your Barnes & Noble, buy it. It's a great book. I read Robert Remini's book, which is also a great book. And we had some great dramaturgs on this project. Mike Sablone in D.C., in L.A., sorry, and Ann Davison here in New York. Both helped us thread that small needle of what we're going to keep historically accurate and what serves us and what truly doesn't.
Right. I mean, how much ad-libbing goes on night to night? I mean, do you throw out a different line? I mean,
well,
or is that all planned?
I'd say there are a few moments that are ad-libbed every night. But with the complexity of this story and the kind of respect we have to have for this story, there's not much wiggle room to be had.
Right.
In terms of, we're talking about something very serious, and we're making light of a very serious issue and a very serious point of history, so we don't allow those things to be fast and loose. But there are a few moments, like Lucas Verbrugge, who plays Van Buren, has a lot of playroom and a couple of moments, and the top of the show is all improvised, and you kind of get to feel the audience and verbally abuse them. And but we take what we do very seriously, and we've worked out the specifics of that.
How freeing is it for you to start? This is your first Broadway show, right?
It's my third.
It's your third?
Yeah.
What was your first two?
I did Inherit the Wind, and then I did Dangerous Liaison.
Okay, so those are, I mean, really...
But those are plays. This is my first musical, for
That's
sure.
what I meant.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Improvise. Anyway, that's my dad, by the way. How about that? So, but yeah, I mean, this is your first musical, and it's not your standard, musical like a Wicked or a Les Mis or something.
Sure.
So, I mean, when you had visions, I'm assuming you had visions as a kid of being an actor, right?
I kind of came to it late. I came to it in high school.
Yeah.
My senior year of high school, I went to a boarding school, and I had a great teacher there who kind of gave me the bug, the acting bug.
Right.
And then I went to college. So don't know, but I think acting is something you choose every day.
Right.
You get up and you think, well, it's kind of absurd that I do this for a living.
Right.
Then you get to the theater and you realize, maybe there's something to this.
Well, but I mean, first of all, do you like wearing tight stuff? Because
Oh,
you
it's
just,
horrible.
you just said Dangerous Liaisons, and then...
Oh, well, I was running around mostly naked in that one.
Were you really?
So it's even
Jeez.
worse.
Nice.
I just can't win.
Yeah.
But, no, the pants are horrible. I've really taken one for the team in terms of that. But,
Yeah.
But, are you kidding? It's a great job.
Yeah, and what about, like, dropping the F-bombs? Is that kind of...
They're going to
is
hear
that
it at some point.
I was going to say, like, I mean, do you get, normally a historic or somewhat historic play or musical, you're going to get, kids to actually go. Or,
Right.
in some cases, schools will bus in their kids to see this.
Sure.
I would argue that they can totally see this in high school.
I think they should.
I'm just curious
absolutely.
if you've heard any feedback about, what students take as on this.
Well, it's interesting because we do come up against this idea that history is not dirty.
Right.
And history is rated R. And if you look back at it, it is filthy. The behavior is filthy. The dealings are filthy, and the people were filthy.
Right.
I mean, granted, our founding fathers were all great men, and they did a lot for our country, and we wouldn't be here without them. But some of them owned slaves, some of them did horrible, horrible things.
Right.
And Jackson is no exception. And to not embrace the dirty side of what makes us American is a fallacy, and it's dangerous. So it is a light thing to curse and be vulgar, but it is playing with the metaphor of something else, which is that at that time we were adolescent, we were vulgar, we were violent, we were greedy, and now look at what has happened because of it.
Right. The one thing that I like about the show is that it kind of leaves you kind of not sure what to make of Andrew Jackson.
Right.
Was he a good guy with good intentions? Was he a bad guy with good intentions? I don't know.
Well, that's I hope it leads you.
Yeah, I'm just curious where you are at this point, where you think about him.
It varies night to night. I think that as an actor, it is important to not enter with those questions answered.
Right.
That the luxury of judging is what you get when you buy a ticket. You get to figure it out, you get to make your opinion. But as artists and as actors, our job is to tell the story as fairly as possible, without judgment, so that people can when they see it. And I think we do that pretty well. He's such a complicated man that to come down on one side or the other would be to cheapen that story in that aspect of what America is.
Right. What do you see the next progression for Bloody Andrew Jackson? I mean, would you do a movie? I mean,
sure.
Does he have another biopic? I don't think he does, right?
I guess not.
Jeez.
Oh, that's interesting.
What do he'd feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jackson would love this attention. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he'd be, if he were alive today, Jackson would be all over Twitter. He would be just in the public face. Absolutely.
How are you compared to the character? Just curious. Feel free to just to keep up.
How am I? I think I don't know. I'd like to think we have some things in common, but
Yeah.
I'd like to think also that it's acting, that it's a job.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't know. That's interesting. What do you think?
I don't know. I think my dad's playing the drums.
I know, clearly. It's chaos this morning.
And what's next for you? I'm just curious.
I'm not
I know.
sure.
I know you just. This is relatively new on Broadway.
Right.
So.
Right now, that's what I'm focusing on. I mean, it's a very, very taxing show. So, my job is to stay healthy and to devote my time and focus to telling the story as clearly and as well as possible, 8 shows a week. And that's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
All right, thanks. Thanks for seeing it. Thanks for supporting the show.